Welcome to the Armoury TV channel. Listen, it's the match preview. Arsenal got to get back on track. Arsenal versus Southampton. Let's go! Yes, people, it's that time again. It's the match preview. Arsenal versus Southampton. Listen, man, we need the 3 points. We need to bounce back and to discuss all things for this game, for this preview. Sorry, I've got the guys with me, man. I've got the full crew. I've got Aussie Gooner. How you doing? How you doing, man? How you been?
Could be better, man. It'd be good if my boys would actually show me something. But yeah, I'm still kicking, man. I'm in Australia. I've got some sunshines and rainbows, so it's all right.
See, that's the thing. At least you've got sun. Do you know what I mean? We've just got when days are hard for us. The days are fucking hard. It's raining. It's miserable. It's windy. At least you can go outside and say, do you know what? Sod Arsenal for today. Sort of.
But us, kick back, coffee, sun, rays, shades. What more could you want?
Yeah. That's enough. That's enough. Enough of that. Gumsa, our tactical guru. What's happening, bro? How you been?
I'm all good. I'm all right. Do you know what? I said the therapy works, man. I get it all out off my chest by the next day, and then I switch off.
I tell you what, it does work. I watched it, and I was just like, yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm in a good place. I'm hoping we bounce back.
We have to bounce back, right? We have to bounce back. This is where it starts, man. We have to bounce back. We have to, hopefully we can and start getting again some points on the board, man. 3 points is what it's all about. GunnerKing, our TikTok Yoda. That's what I'm gonna call you, man. Do you know what I mean? What's happening, bro? What's happening? You good?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, just looking forward to this game. Really, Southampton chance to get 3 more points on the board, get back on track, get back in this. Well, I don't think we've left it. We're still in this top 4 race. Yeah. Just get back on track. I'm looking forward to it very much. I want to see these guys basically just silence a few haters because the recency bias in this world is unreal, man. 2 games and people forget, like. That we've been keeping clean sheets, kicking ass, and taking names for breakfast. So,
I think you know what you kind of like called it out there, right? And I hear what you're saying, and I think let's just dive straight into this, like, head first, right? And I'm going to put it to you. One of the things I noticed, and we're a young team, and I was just wondering, right, and I didn't have enough time to find it, but I'm just wondering how many times does Saka, and I'm not just talking against Everton, but how many times is Saka being fouled now in games? Right, continuation of it, and I just thought back, right, and do you remember Grealish, right, for Aston Villa, right? He was their talisman, and he was the most fouled player, wasn't he, in the Premiership last year? Not saying that Saka's anywhere near that for us, in terms of how, importance and stuff. But one thing, though, that really kind of winds me up, right, is that, and we're coming now against, you see the run of teams that we play. We're coming against teams that we should be beating. But one of the things I think they will all be tasked with is to hit Saka. Godfrey was on Saka. How he only came out with 1 yellow card, and I'm not even just talking about the studs on Tomiyasu's face. I'm talking about the rake down on Saka's shins, the constant fouls. How he only came out with 1 yellow card in that game. Aston Villa, I particularly remember that game. Crystal Palace, he got booted for I think he should have been sent off. He wasn't sent off. I mean, how much more is this kid going to take? And I think a game like Southampton, he's going to be targeted again. The reason why I'm talking about this, right, and I think it comes to us as a young team. Yes, certain players go up to the ref and say, hey, start waving the imaginary card and everything, right? But one thing I'll go back to, right, is the post-match the post-match interview from Arteta, and I feel should have made more about the grief Saka's been getting, and especially not to say go all kind of gung ho or whatever, right, but make reference to it so then it's noted in the next game, and do you know what I mean? Refs are noticed that, hey, do you know what? It's in the back of their mind when it comes to it that this kid is being targeted. He's had a few tackles. All that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying go all Roy Keane, Andy D'Urso, do you know what I mean, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that our players should do that, but I don't know. I'll throw it to you guys. What do you guys think? I mean, obviously, this is just one of the things that's gonna happen against Southampton. Trust me, because they're that type of team that will look to spoil the way we play, especially us at home. What do you guys think? I mean, Steve-O, what are you saying?
Look, it's part of the game, man. Like, and that's why, it's like, they're taking out Saka. Look, if I'm the gaffer for an opposing team, I say, get on him, bump him, harry him, scare him in the tunnels. That's the kind of guy I am, and it's another tactic you can use. My problem is we ain't using it. I'm jealous that we're not using it, and that's the problem. Like, we were at the start of this season, I'm saying we need to get physical, because if we win the physical battle, you know how I am. If you win the physical battle, you get a mental edge, and then you can move forward. Now, we've always been a soft team. I started to see us win some physical battles and get physical with teams, but of the last 5 or 4, we've just gotten soft again. And now I know Saka's getting taken out. There's no one really protecting him even on the team, so he's getting hammered.
So then should that be part of then the manager to kind of like, in those kind of interviews, post-match, whatever, to say, do you know what? He's getting a lot of hits. He's not being protected. Just to kind of plant that seed in the refs kind of, no?
Yeah, look, you got a point, but when has the referee ever been on Arsenal's side? They're always against us.
Mike Dean was flip's sake.
Mike Dean
I don't want to make this a review of the Everton game, but flip's sake.
The referees are never on our side. And I think we've known that for a long time. So even going up to the referee and having a bit of a whine, it's like, this is Arsenal, I hate you. So that's why we can't rely on referees. We can't rely on VAR. We got lucky in Everton, but VAR and referees are always against Arsenal. So we're always against 13 men every time we go out in that pitch. All we can do is protect our own. So where you would have seen Vieira see one of his boys get hammered, where is my boy coming in and saying, oh, you're getting hammered? Norris. Who was that? Yeah, Norris. Give him the ball. I'm waiting for him. It needs to come back. You need to come back and say, you're hammering my boy. Watch what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to take the ball and you. We need to get physical. We need to fight back. And if we don't, we're going to be the pushover in this game that we were in Everton.
Listen, I take on board everything what you said there. Gumsa, yourself, I mean, do you think there's an element? Maybe Arteta's missing a trick. Maybe the players themselves should start surrounding the ref to say, hey, what is going on? How many more times is he going to be kicking him? How many more times? How many more times? Start really getting. I think that may be something, because we are a young team. Maybe we missed those little kind of tricks, and even the manager himself being young or relatively inexperienced, maybe he's missing those kind of opportunities.
Yeah. I agree. I think, and again, I agree with what Aussie says. It is football. It's a competitive sport. You are going to get hits and kicks. One difference I would see with your Saka to some of the other fouls, like when you watch Grealish, the fouls he receives are very minimal. Like, you touch him and he's gone. It's a foul, but it's not much. The way they're kicking Saka at the moment is not good.
Ridiculous.
Like, it's a lot on his calves, and it's, do you know what I mean? From behind, it's late. Like, I think that's the only reason. Again, I'm not saying people can't get fouled, but it's the manner. They're not getting yellow cards for what is the yellow cards. Tavares caught one the other day as well, where he cleared the ball at the line. Aubameyang got sent off for that last year against Crystal Palace. And it was so late. Like, I'm not saying it was dirty or intentional, but at least they got a throw-in from it. We didn't even get the free kick. So there is elements of the refereeing's got to be stronger. I do agree there should be like a middle card somewhere coming in, because it's like one extreme to the other, and everyone's so letter of the law. No one referees on just not instinct, but you know what I mean? Just actually the occasion, what it was. Like, I could do a foul which is premeditated, and I'll get the same as if it was an accident. Like, there needs to be that middle ground of.
That's what you meant. Kind of come to my point. Do you think right? And I know I've been going this all week, right? But do you think if a former player had been sitting in that VAR chair, Godfrey would have been sent off?
And you know, I don't even think even just for the one red card, but I think he had so many fouls in there.
Yeah.
He went through Tomiyasu in the first 15 where
Yes.
he did get the ball, but the intent, I don't mind. It was a solid tackle, but I've
You
seen
want to see
players
that, to
get
be
sent
fair.
off
You
for a
want to
lot
see.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's had about 3 on Saka. So again, if he gets, even if he got a yellow for the Tomiyasu or yellow for one earlier, it just means he can't keep playing in that
going
way.
in like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're exactly right. The longer they leave it, how many times I saw Saka get kicked and then get up and he's going, and
he's limping. Yeah, like the Crystal Palace one the other day was ridiculous. Like the man, and again, Kyle Walker's been sent off. Kyle Walker's just been sent off for that on Tuesday. Kyle Walker just got sent.
Oh, was he?
But again,
Yeah,
he kicked the man from behind. It was a bit different. Like the man ran past him and he just booted the life out of his calf. But it was no real difference. Like it was no intention to play the ball.
Still smashing his calf, not going for the ball.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Guys, can I just give a quick shout out to?
man. King, go
then
ahead,
I'm coming
bro.
back because I ain't finished. Then I'm going to come back.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just a quick shout out to Harvey, man, one of my loyal followers. Like he's unfortunately contracted COVID today. Hope he recovers and gets better soon. One of my first ever followers, so yeah.
Foundation.
His brother, listen, his brother's a Spurs. No, his brother's an Arsenal fan and he's a Spurs fan.
Oh,
but he loves me, so it's fair enough. They look like identical twins as well, man. But shout out to Harvey, man. Get better soon, man.
Shout out Harvey, man. Get well soon, bro.
Yeah, thoughts with you. Hopefully everything's all right in a speedy recovery.
100%.
But yeah, just what you're saying about Arteta, I think Klopp plays the game very well.
Yeah,
Klopp doesn't care to come out and say what he wants to say about Man. He's done it a year or two ago. Oh, Man City always get away with them little fouls up the pitch where it should be a yellow, and then that is it. Man City are under pressure next game because they know any tug when Liverpool are breaking, referee's bringing out the yellows. So Arteta does.
Wenger, Ferguson, they both used to do it.
And Mourinho, Mourinho is always in the press getting his message across.
To be honest, I've long said as well, right? I was saying it the other day. For me, you look at Xhaka, he got the yellow card against Gordon, which meant that he couldn't take the guy out the thingy to score, right? But the point I wanted to make here, and I've spoken about this for a while, I think there needs to be a revision, right? Because you're seeing these tactical fouls a lot. You're seeing a lot of fouls where it's just niggling to kind of break up the state of play. I want to see what happens in rugby. Yeah, and I don't know, Aussie Gooner, if you watch rugby out in Australia as well, where you've got sin bin fouls, where effectively you're removed from the field of play for any determinate number of minutes, dependent on sort of how serious the foul is. I just think you need to bring that in 5-7 minutes. All right, you want to foul someone to stop them from countering, fine. Well, your team's playing with 10 men for 5 minutes.
10 minutes. It's normally 10 minutes, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, because people look at it, they're like, people are looking at it at the moment. What's the point of having the rules? Yeah, because if you're going to have the rules whereby if you foul someone, you get a card, but you've got players saying, I'll wear it. I'll wear it. You see it. That's what they're thinking, isn't it? I'll wear it. I'll take it. I'll take the yellow, for the team. Yeah. And I get it. I want to be like what Aussie Gooner is saying about we need to get a bit of an edge, a bit of a dirty side as well. But equally, if the rule is there to protect the player, but players are flagrantly disregarding the rule for the sake of the team, the rule is pointless. There comes a point where you have to change the rules, so that it is acting as a deterrent. Because at the moment it isn't. Every 90 minutes you're seing tactical fouls. Now pundits are talking about it. When I was a kid,
that's a good card to take. Blah blah blah.
But
I've never heard that in our childhood. Never.
You know, the thing is,
it's been encouraged. So the way I see it, the rule has got to be changed. You've got to be bringing in sin bin fouls. You got to have referees having earpieces again, like in rugby. Why is this sport as a sport behind every other one? Football, cricket, rugby and cricket are miles clear of how they officiate their sport.
Yeah, I mean, the flip side of that, I hear what you're saying. The flip side to that is that rugby and cricket, there's a lot of intermissions. There's a lot of stops in those games.
Stop, go.
Yeah, with football, it is boom, boom. It's constant flow.
Do
That's the only.
do you know what it is though? I feel at the moment there's just too many. This is what Gunnar was saying. For me,
Yeah.
there's too many different rules now, and it's all
It's-
too much letter of the law. And
Yeah.
oh, this tackle is a yellow card because he almost got to the ball. Where that one, which is actually a stronger tackle, which might have broke his leg, but actually because he didn't get near the ball, like the David Luiz one, where he got sent off for not making the challenge. It's like, well, should I have wiped him out then, and then took the yellow rather than move out the way and catch a red? Like, there's too many inconsistencies, and this is the problem where people who don't play the game and writing things down on paper,
That's
actually,
the thing.
It creates too many elements of misinterpretation.
There's too many grey areas, basically.
Yeah, it's too much and so for me, it should just be judged on actually foul's a foul, foul's a foul. That's not a foul. That's a hard tackle, but he's won the ball clear. Like, I've seen guys win tackles, followed through, and are getting yellows or reds, and it's like, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want my momentum to go in this direction? Yeah. Again, you got a choice. You either come in and meet me 50-50, or you get out of the way. I'm coming for the ball, and there's too many now red cards for a guy winning the ball. Like, how many do we see now? Someone actually winning the ball. Like, again, Godfrey went on Tomiyasu. He won the ball. It was a strong tackle. He won the ball. Got to get up and deal with that. Do you know what I mean? You know he's coming, but there's too many times where I'm seeing silly reds because it's like, oh, well, his trailing leg hit him high up on the shin. Well, that's not my fault. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the rules with the handball, even the handball is not a handball unless it goes in off your hand. And it's just like, well, so I can handball it 10 seconds earlier outside the box, then shoot and it counts. But if I handball it, it's too many grey areas, and it's way too many grey areas for me. And there was another rule as well. I can't remember which one. It was one of them. I can't even the offside one where he's not offside. Like, the linesman thinks he's offside, but he lets it play until there's a shot.
But
someone's got a shot, he doesn't put it up. But there's going to be something bad's going to happen.
Someone will get injured. Bad.
Yeah, it's going to be a collision or something where the linesman knows he's offside. He hasn't flagged it. Yeah. But again, the one is Italy where they scored that goal where the guy deflected it, and it was like, well, I wouldn't have tried to play the ball if I didn't think he was behind me. I didn't know he's offside or not, so I couldn't take the risk. But by me touching it, he's now onside and active. It's like, it's just putting too many silly rules in. Fact is, he's offside. Even if I touch it, he's offside until another phase of play. Like, it's just there's too many margins for error, and this is what's causing the problem. Like, and this needs to be done a lot easier for me. Then it would make life a bit easier.
To be truthful, though, this problem goes back to Wenger, though. Something that I've always felt is Arsenal try and go against the grain of the league that we're in. And I'm going to explain this, right? This is the most physically demanding, like the most physically intensive league in the world. But you look at our best players, they're always shorter, slighter frame, techie, tick-a-tacker, tidy, nice on the ball, nice on the eye kind of players. But there's not the correct blend of steel with that. There's not the correct blend of steel with it. For me, like, we need a few hatchet men. I'm not saying we're going back to the old ways, because football has moved on. It has moved on from the days of Roy Keane and Vieira and Adams and that kind of stuff. But equally, this is still England, and this is still the way we play football, and it's still relative to every other league in the world, the most physical by far. And if you really think, that you can set up, without like a robust, physical, athletic spine in your team, I don't care how much football moves on in England, you're mistaken.
No, I agree.
No, you are Gumsa.
No, but I look at City. City aren't athletic through the middle like that. Like, their back two's not physically demanding.
Have you seen the size of Rodri?
Rodri is solid, but he's not physically demanding like that. Even Fernandinho has dominated this league for years. He's not physically demanding, but it's just a mentality. It's a mentality. Sometimes, like, I've played with players. Look at Torreira. Torreira's mentality. He's not getting bullied in there because he's going to get around. Kante's the smallest guy on the pitch. He just deals with things because it's the mentality. So I get what you're saying.
Strong,
we got Partey, who's physically stronger.
Kante is strong. I would not fight him with a machine gun in my hand. He's double hard.
Partey's physically demanding, but he's not. Mentally, he's not demanding. He's not imposing himself on it. So it's very much more a mentality. And I do agree with you. I think Wenger went for a mentality within this club where it was all nicey. We lost that little bit of edge. Because again, it's proven with the players we started to sign compared to what we had before,
Yeah.
we changed the whole philosophy up.
Yeah,
Like you said, he went for the very.
I think that was the
acute
beginning
players.
of the end for him when he started changing his philosophy of the players that he was going to buy. Listen, guys, listen. Sorry to, I guess, look, let's get on to the matter at hand. We kind of digressed a bit. That was my fault, my bad. But it's just something
that was to make up for gunslingers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was an edition of that was your 20 minutes of gunslingers, key people. But no, here we go. Look, listen. We got oh, sorry, Gumsa, are you able to take down?
Oh yeah, we get rid of that. Sorry.
There you go. Thank you. So our head-to-head last 5 against Southampton. 3 wins, 2 draws, and no L's there. Can you all see that all clearly? Mr. Silver Fox is our stato. Thank you very much. Here we go. 1987, 34 years ago, last win against us at home. Southampton scored first in 4 of the last 5 games against Arsenal. Wow, that's deep. So we obviously got some what Ian Dowie would say bounce back ability there. Flipping heck. For those who remember Ian Dowie, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
ugly sod, weren't he?
Oh my god, yeah. Southampton win this in 4. Arsenal scored first in 8 of the last 9 games. So look, listen, I think everything really has got 3 points written all over it, right? Dare I say it? Steve-O.
No, don't be saying that. Don't be saying this has got 3 points on it, man. You're going to curse it, man.
We need to stop doing that. I'm sorry, yeah. Every time we say that, we fuck up. So can we?
My man.
Ban that saying from the show altogether, please. Respectfully, I'm tired of it. Like,
we don't want to have to ban you, all right? We don't have to. Look,
seriously, like,
look, this is democracy. Okay, there's 3 of us here. There's one of you there. You're going to have to go.
You're misinterpreting where I'm coming from.
Against Palace, I got chased out of town. You know, with the same thing with Everton. I'm not here. Look, we need.
You're misinterpreting where I'm coming from
right now. Yeah,
you're misinterpreting where I'm coming. I'm coming from a space, right, where you know what? Hey,
he comes from a time and a land far away.
We got the players to do this. We got the players with a mentality to do this because look, he must have stuck into it. He must have gone into them. Must have put the importance of us getting 3 points against this team. Listen, that's why I'm saying we have to. This has to be 3 points. I can't see anything if we don't get 3 points. Listen, I know the Arteta out brigade is out in force. Would this compound it?
No.
If we don't get 3 points?
No.
Steve-O?
No, look. Everyone's going to be Arteta out, Arteta in, whatever. Let's be real. Only person that's going to get Arteta out are the Cronkies. We can sit there and scream and yell and whinge about it all we want. It's not going to happen. We got to get a reality check. He's our manager. We're stuck with him, and we're going to be stuck with him for quite a while. Let me put it another way. Arteta out now. Who comes in? Who wants the job? Can anyone answer that? Who wants the job at Arsenal right now, and who comes in?
I'll take it.
You take it? You're in.
I couldn't agree more with what him saying because the reality is,
out there.
if you compare, right? Conte went to Spurs. Yeah, Ragnick's gone to United, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to look at the bigger picture. Like United, Ollie was given the opportunity to build his team to the fullest. Yeah, we've got to accept. Yeah, yes, Arteta has shortcomings, but he is putting a system in place, and there are gaps in technical capabilities of players to be able to use the system. He's built his defense now. That's the way I see it. Yep. Yeah, we need to stop this whole freaking agenda of in, out, shake it all about. I couldn't give a monkey's rat's ass, yeah, about who the manager is, yeah. Right now, this squad, if Arteta left tomorrow, no one's looking at Aubameyang and Lacazette thinking, I can get these guys firing. Because they haven't fired under the 2 previous managers, yeah. So the overhaul has to take place first, because that's what happened under Ollie. Ollie was given the complete from front to back. This is your team now. Now we're judging you, yeah? Now we're judging you, yeah? And when it didn't work out, Ragnick can look at that squad and be like, you know what? At least the squad is there or thereabouts, yeah? And what that does is that ramps up the caliber of manager you can get from down here to up here. No experienced manager is looking at the squad in its current state. No manager of pedigree is looking at the squad at this state and thinking, yeah, they're thinking maybe.
Aren't these his
We need
players?
the additions in the squad.
What players aren't
make people
Arteta's?
Huh?
Yeah,
What
look,
players? Are not
Aubameyang.
Arteta?
Name a striker he signed.
Okay. So after a
He
striker,
inherited
then,
strikers.
after he signs a striker, are we then saying that this is Arteta's team?
I personally think there's still work to do in midfield as well.
exactly. I'm with you on that. The midfield at the
There's
moment is
still work to do in
shambolic.
midfield. Look at the treatment of Pepe. He's bringing Nketiah on because he doesn't trust Pepe. So that to me says, look, we can argue with that decision all we want, but Pepe's form has been tepid. Like it's been, look, you've got it in patches. There's no consistency. Listen, I've been Pepe's biggest stan from day, yeah, but I'm looking at it, the bigger picture, and I'm like, when he's been counted on, you know, Arteta said to him, you know what, you've been dropped from the team now. You've not been performing as you had been. But I'll tell you what, I'll give you a chance against Leeds in the Carabao Cup. I sat there in the stand and watched him stink up the place like no other. And this, you just have to say it as you called it, yeah? So it's like, look, he's tried to give these players chances. There's plenty more players like that in midfield. And El Neni, now he bought Partey, fair enough. Yeah, but for me, the midfield and the attack, he's not put his stamp on.
So, but when do you, with Pepe, then let's go back to Pepe. When do you say when? When do you say, do you know what? Okay, you served your punishment for that Leeds game. Let's start giving them little kind of like cameos, etc.
He's gone overboard. He's gone overboard on Pepe. Let's be honest. He's gone overboard here. Pepe should pitch. Pepe should be at least coming on as a sub.
I can accept that.
Let's be honest,
the
as a sub, Nketiah instead of Pepe. Nketiah instead of Pepe here, guys. This is a bit stupid. Look, I'm not going to come down on Arteta for what's been going on now. I will come down on him for some of his decisions. Okay, the Nketiah on and Pepe not getting on the field, that's stupid. That's just dumb. That's just telling the rest of the players that, oh, look, this guy's not signing another contract, but he'll still get in. So how does that make the other players feel? Come on now. Like Martinelli barely got a look in until players got injured. And this guy's devoted to the club. Nketiah is not devoted to the club. And it's like, oh, let's get Nketiah in. It's two sets of rules. And
the one thing I will say about Nketiah is that you can't really... Look, one of the things is that we don't know if he doesn't want to stay. It may be the terms of his contract that he's rejected, i.e. professionally, it may be a little bit less than what he's actually really expecting. So he may... We can't say that he wants to leave because all it says in the press is that he's rejected the contract. That may be just due to terms.
Also, I'd like to say we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And maybe when this documentary comes out, we might know a bit more. I'll be honest. If it's a case... Again, I'm speculating here. I don't know.
I think we all... Yeah.
But... So you've got Nketiah who's turning down a contract, but might be saying, look, I would stay, but the money's got to be right, or the length of contract's got to be right, or whatever it is.
Until he comes out and says, I want to leave.
Yeah.
We can't really... It's hard to kind of...
But he could be working his socks off in training. Same as Lacazette. Remember, Lacazette's contract's up at the end of the year, and he's putting the shift. We've seen him coming on the pitch and working and putting it in for the team. So regardless if he's staying or going end of the season, Arsenal could be offering him, and he's saying, I'm not even interested in talking, I'm off. But for these 6 months, I'm going to give you everything. On the flip, Pepe might be in the training ground doing absolutely nothing. So what's it telling to the young boys? What's it telling to the young boys to say, right, I've got these guys who are leaving but are fighting hard for the club. I've got this one who's not doing anything. He's getting minutes because he cost 72 million and he's got 3 more years left on his contract, say. Actually, if I'm now Saka or Smith Rowe or any of the youngsters coming in, if I'm looking at that thinking, well, what's the point of me trying? Because once I'm now established like Saka and Smith Rowe are, I can down tools a bit because I'm going to keep playing regardless if I've got these other boys chomping at the bit because of my name, my price tag, I'm going to get minutes. It's a difficult situation. I don't think it's handled great, but because again, this isn't the first time we're seeing something like this with Arteta, but at the same time, we probably do need a manager who is going to be firm and not tolerate nonsense because we would applaud Simeone when Simeone does it. There's other managers we'll applaud when they don't take no nonsense from anybody. Do you know what I mean? We've seen players get dropped. And so I think we have to respect Arteta if he is doing that because, again, we're moaning about the culture of this club. but yet we'd accept, oh, because he cost 72 million and he's a fan favorite, he can get away with murder. And that's where I stand on it. But yeah, go on.
For me, right?
Sorry, King.
Let Steve go.
Just very quickly, like
I've got
for
one
me,
little thing on that.
I'm looking at players, right? I'm looking at players right now, yeah, and I maintain, yeah, I'm looking at players that have failed under successive managers, and I'm looking at these players that have failed under successive managers that are actually they're putting Arteta under the pressure cooker. They're putting the younger players in the squad under the pressure cooker. Is this me saying I'm Arteta in? Absolutely not. Yeah. Is this me saying that Arteta is the man that's going to lead us back to past glory? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is, if you're seeing a pattern occurring and reoccurring with certain players in the squad, right, that these things were happening long before Arteta and are happening long after him, yeah, why is it always the manager's door that we drop this doorstep, that we drop this bollocks on? You know, like there comes a point for me. I watched the Everton game the other day. I watched Aubameyang miss an absolute sitter, right? You know, the game before against Newcastle, I love this guy. I love this guy, man. I love this guy so much, yeah. For me, he's brought me the most joy in a number 9 player or 14 player since the man himself that made that shirt so fucking iconic, right? But the reality is, time moves on. And we've given him chances. I've been patient with him. I have, yeah. And like, I'll always love him. I'll always have the memories that he brought me, yeah. Like the, but the reality is, right now, I'm looking at every other top 6 team. I'm looking at every other top 6 teams, front 3 or front 2 or front man, yeah. And I'm baffled, right? I'm baffled that we are anywhere near top 4 when even Antonio at West Ham, yeah, is even when he's not scoring, and I've got him on the TV now, he's not even playing, right? But even when they're not even when he's not scoring, you're seeing an impact. You're seeing a measure of intent. You are seeing other players benefiting from him being on the pitch. You are seeing that, and you're seeing that benefit West Ham. You're seeing that benefit all these other clubs. So the thing is, we can change a manager now. He's going to come in, have the same problem. He might get a tune out of Aubameyang and Lacazette, but look, that one's 31, one's 33. So how long is that tune going to be for? Eventually, they're going to come full circle and they're going to have the same problem. Yeah. So for me, this man needs to, he seems to be doing something, because we need to not get caught up in these 1 or 2 games that we're losing. We need to look, yeah, at a sum of what impact these signings, the new ones, have had. And overall, it's been more positive than negative. It has been. Yeah, like, yes, there is a lot more improvement to do. A hell of a lot. Like, a hell of a lot. Like, so much. Like, we are so far behind those top 3 teams. It's unreal. But have we moved in a step in the right direction towards making some headway and closing that ground?
Yeah, we have. Look, let's be honest. We all have. We can all agree we have. Defensively, we're looking great. The midfield's looking shambolic. But I've got one for you, Gumsa. If Pepe is not going to is being rubbish in training, and I believe you know, it could be true. He could be showing me nothing. As a manager, why the hell have I got him on the bench?
That's my issue with it. It's if you
he shouldn't be on there. I'm now. I want to. I should have that point. I have that position for a player who should be on the field. I don't care if he's a 19, 18, 17-year-old. I don't care what he is. My point, some of the things that Arteta does are great, but some of the things that he does are questionable.
But you know, I do agree with that. But we see
it's early days for him too.
We saw it with Emery, because Emery done it to Ozil when he was traveling to games, and then we needed an impact, and it was like, actually, Ozil's not the impact player we're looking for, because the other team's banked in. There's no space for him, and
we got more depth now.
Yeah,
we've actually got a bit more depth than what we back then. We had nothing, dude. We had Mustafi at the club, for God's sake, man. Like,
I do agree. That's where Big Dog was in here. He said he's been Arteta out since November last year.
This Arteta out stuff is crap. All right. Look, the guy is a young manager. He's going to make mistakes. All right. I look at the mistakes he's made tactically, and I keep saying he shouldn't have played a 4-2-3-1. And I've got numbers here to tell you why. He should be playing a 4-4-2, and I've got numbers to show you why. And I've even seen the games. Now, he's going to realize this himself. He's a young manager. But like King is saying, Defensively, we were looking strong. The goalkeeper's bloody great. Yes, Partey's been a bit down at the moment. We are improving ever so slightly. And in a 4-4-2, nobody was complaining. Everybody, yay, look how we're doing now. So we could go back to a 4-4-2 tomorrow and start putting on 3-4 game winning streak. And everyone's going to say, oh, you know what? It's Arteta in now. I hate this flip.
Yeah.
Let's just be realistic, okay? I want our Arsenal fans to get realistic and stop thinking this is FIFA where you can go and sign any manager and any player just like that, okay? What's attractive about Arsenal right now? Tell me that, guys, and then we'll talk about Arteta out.
Got nice seats.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go to this one quickly.
What you got to say is,
hold on. I'll let you go on this one. Hold on, wait there. A lot of our players' issues can be solved with a better man management. He has one style.
What these players right now, they need a hug. I pay these guys to play football, right? Anyone that has a job right now, if you were working for me and I was paying you and you didn't come to the table and play, are you telling me it's good enough? Do I have to come and hug you and say, oh, could you please work for me? No, when you go out there on the bloody pitch, you give me 100%. Against Everton, okay, wrong formation, fucking wrong. But none of those players can hold their heads up high. Every single one of them dropped the ball from the get-go. So you explain to me right now, right? These players are getting paid over £100,000 a bloody week. That performance out there was so lethargic and gutless. Am I going to put that on Arteta and say, oh, Arteta told them to be lethargic and gutless? Come on now. We've all played the game.
I'm hearing a lot about, obviously, how we drop back as well. And people say, Arteta,
you can't tell me to do that.
Because if you watch Arteta on the sideline, he's constantly saying, get up.
Yes, he's not going to tell them to sit back. It doesn't make sense.
You can see it on the sidelines. He's constantly screaming at them to push up the pitch and come and press and squeeze up. And this is where some of the players have to take more responsibility, whether it's Gabriel at the back, Ramsdale as well. But again, the midfield. And it is what it is. Jordan says it all the time. The first person leads the press. And if he goes, I've got to go. So what happened is someone will say, hold the line there. So everyone would just sit in and say, right, this is my line of engagement until they cross whatever it is. And so it needs someone to just be brave and say, I'm gone. And then everyone has to kind of go with. And you see Arteta saying, come, you can see him on the sidelines, like screaming sometimes to get the players to push on. So I don't think this is him sitting back. I think it's a way of,
you can't sit back in a 4-2-3-1. You can't sit back. A 4-2-3-1 is great for attack. You're going to score goals.
Well, you'd hope so.
No. 4-2-3-1 is a formation you can overload. So he went there to attack, and they didn't attack.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You would hope so. I think there's a fundamentally problem maybe with some of the players, if not all of them, or because as soon as we score a goal, we go back in our shells. Shells. King, where's this game going to be won on Saturday? What's going to be important for us to start clicking into game? What?
For me, I'm trying to. Every game of football is midfield for me, where a battle is won and lost. Like eventually, like invariably, that's where you're turning over possession, and it's what you do in midfield. How you decide to get it forward, how you get service to your front man, but also, when the attacking phases break down, how quickly you get back into your shape, how quickly you're picking up your men in midfield, how quickly you're closing down spaces for opposition midfielders that are trying to obviously create as well. And look, I'm not sure about Southampton's injury record at the moment, but James Ward-Prowse, I don't know if he's injured or not, whether he's fit or not.
Well, it's all going to be about set pieces and Bednarek, isn't it?
I mean, you've got him. You've got decent midfielders there. And the thing is, look, I don't want to go in this game and think they ain't 1-4. They're not scoring. They're not playing well. Everton hadn't won in 9, and they slapped us. They slapped us back to the Emirates. Do you know what I mean? Like United hadn't won in how long? They barely won any games. Yeah. They slapped us. Like right now, this whole we should be beating these teams because they haven't won.
We're at home. We can't lose at home. Can we against Southampton?
It's an Arsenal forte. It's an Arsenal forte. Yeah, that when teams are on bad runs of form, when strikers aren't scoring, when other teams aren't keeping clean sheets, So right now, I don't have faith. I don't have faith that we can capitalize on these situations. And I think that is more of a mentality problem, as Gumsa was saying, earlier on in the show. I think there is a mentality in that. I don't want to sit here and accuse people of being complacent about these records, you know, when we go to play these teams, or being complacent and not expecting as much of a challenge as they should be. But I'm just saying we should be going into every game right now, thinking we have a point to prove. We should be going into every game thinking it could be Arteta's last. Because I'll tell you what, there was 2 teams that played the other day against Everton, and there was one team that played as if their manager's job depended on it, and it wasn't fucking Arsenal. Yeah. So we need to go into every game. We need to go into every game thinking it could be Arteta's last, and we need to be playing as if every game could be his last. And listen, Arteta could get sacked tomorrow. I ain't gonna lose sleep. I'm not an Arteta stan. I keep saying this. Yeah, I'm a bigger picture man. That's what I'm a stand for. I'm a bigger picture man, yeah. And the bigger
follow this club. You don't give a shit. You just follow this
Yeah.
fucking club, and whatever's good for this club, you want. Yeah.
That's it. And the bigger picture, the bigger picture of the story is, right, we need to develop a thicker skin to be able to capitalize on these situations, because it's not the first time and it won't be the last time, you know. Like, and for me, that's players standing up and being counted. But in midfield, we have to absolutely boss the midfield, because at the moment,
you drop Partey
can get
or
we don't know if he's taking not. Listen, I'm almost tempted to say play all 3 of them: Xhaka, Partey, and Sambi. Listen, I'm tired of hearing this. I'm tired of hearing this.
Oh, wait a minute! You just put a brick wall up in the midfield, bro. What are you doing here? No. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that.
So, what? Xhaka and Sambi can't pass.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
we said the same about Palace playing.
No. I'm not saying that, bro. I'm saying grab your mate Partey, sit him down for a sec, because I think he needs a rest. And you know what? I'd rather have El Neni in there. I'd rather have El Neni in there right now on performance, or Maitland-Niles in there on performance, than have Partey at the moment. Maitland-Niles has actually played some decent football. You could put Maitland-Niles in there. You could probably put a bit of a El Neni in there to lie deep, and you could have a decent midfield. And I know people are going to get the shits with, oh, look at our new signing sitting on the bench, but you could always bring in a Sambi for a bit of a change, and Partey maybe gets a rest like Aubameyang did. I'm just putting that out there. Can we
afford to give Partey a rest, though? We need 3 points, right?
Yeah. Yes, we can afford to give Partey a rest, because Partey ain't bringing me shit but goals against me. Sorry, bro. He's a liability.
It comes back.
Xhaka gets me reds. Xhaka gets me reds, and my boy Partey at the moment, part-time, he's not in the game. I don't know what it is, but
football's played on the field.
He's been rushed back from fitness. He's not fully fit. He's not fully fit.
Then if he's not fully fit, then he sits down. Easy. He's not fully fit. That's it. Sit down, bro. Let's relax a bit. No pressure. These guys can take care.
This is half the problem, though. Football's played on the pitch and not on paper.
Yeah, of course. Sorry. But El Neni's performance and Maitland-Niles' performances as of late haven't been bad on the pitch.
Sambi's as well, yeah. And
Sambi as well. Fuck yeah.
The biggest problem big problem for me is I don't get how Granit Xhaka comes straight back in that team, and he didn't look good. And he's not even like you're bringing back in Messi or somebody of that level, Armoury in his heyday.
If you're Maitland-Niles, what are you thinking when you see that team sheet?
How can he walk straight back in after being injured? Played for the 23s or anything, and he walked and it's not even a small injury where, do you know what I mean? It's a dead leg or something like that, a bruised elbow or a broken little finger. Do you know what I mean? He's out with a big injury. Like, how can you walk straight back in someone's first team without playing any 23s football? It doesn't make no sense. So this again, and we got what we deserved. Like, them decisions there will end up costing managers their job. Like, as I said, if Sambi Lokonga's done something really wrong, fair enough. But he had a bit of a hard win against Liverpool. But I'm pretty sure he started the Newcastle game, didn't he?
Who?
Sambi? Yeah, Sambi Lokonga, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I think he played well. Same because he's saying...
Before he was one of the best.
Yeah. I had him as my man of match, I think, on that Newcastle game because some of his forward passing in the first half was really good. And then he's dropped. And again, it's you're playing players on their name, not on what they're actually giving you at that present moment. Sometimes there is a time where, again, I always go back to Coquelin and Cazorla. That was never meant to be our centre midfield partnership. We stumbled on that because of injuries, and that then became our best partnership in midfield for a little while until other players come in. But sometimes if it's working, don't change it. And I don't think Xhaka or Partey have done enough to deserve to walk into that first team to start. And if Aubameyang can be benched, then so can both of them. Like, and Xhaka, again, he's only come back from injury, so it's not
Yeah, he's not ready.
But he wasn't ready for that game. Like, and again, what we say about leaders can come from anywhere. And I saw 2 leaders in that Everton team who wanted it more than any other Arsenal player, and that was Godfrey and Richarlison. And it looked like the more Richarlison's goal getting chalked off, the more he was going to score. He looked hungry. And even the Iwobi chance, did you see how he roughed up Xhaka and Ben White to get the ball down and then fed Iwobi?
Yeah.
Ramsdale made a great save. And it's just that desire, he shouldn't be winning that ball. So let alone he's won the first, he then shouldn't be able to pick up the second, and he's picked up both. And it's those little, we play very much system based, but nobody grabs it by the scruff
and takes a chance.
I'm gonna do that little bit extra. I'm gonna turn a bad ball into a good ball. Do you know, because that ball wasn't a good ball to Richarlison. This is a hit and hope up the pitch to clear his lines, and he's made a bad ball into a good ball because he's done something. He's like he didn't even win the flick. He challenged Xhaka, and then he roughed up Ben White, and he's brought the ball down. And it's them little margins where I say we have 0 leaders because we're all playing Arteta way, but somebody needs to sometimes actually just do something different and mix it up. And that's why I say Tavares for me I like, because he actually does something a bit different sometimes. He doesn't just get it on his left foot and pass down the line. He will. I know he comes inside, right footed. He's switching it to Tomiyasu, and all of a sudden we're now going because Everton shift across. He now switches play early. Now we're out, and those little things do make a big difference sometimes.
Yeah. No, I hear that. So guys, obviously want to draw this so close because obviously in interest of time, etc. So we obviously agree that midfield is going to be a problem area for us. Maybe I don't think anybody knows actually what.
My brother.
Cool. Yes, certified Ali. What's happening? Still Arteta in, but I feel like I was watching Chelsea in 2016. Listen, I think with that, we can't even complain about players being tired or fatigued at all. So that's one argument that Arteta can't even draw on. No. Having a young, you could see the narratives if we was in Europe or whatever. It's a young squad, young team. They're trying to learn with the rigors of European football and blah, 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 blah. But no, we've got a lovely rest all week. So listen, I'm going to come round, guys, to your score predictions. I'm going to come to you first, Gunner King.
Hold on, Gunner. Let's see this comment quickly.
Which one was that? There's a whole bunch.
Rowdy.
Who is that, man?
I don't know, but I need to find out. Sorry.
I need to find out.
Gunner King's old MC name was Rowdy, boy. So someone knows us from way back.
Someone knows you from way back when.
Berkshire Gaming, love, brother.
I think that's I think that's Eamon,
Yeah. We'll find out. Messages, let us know who it is. But yeah, go back to you, Gunner.
Was it MC Rowdy, was it?
Jesus, Rowdy.
Intro.
Love that.
Give me a bar.
Yeah, look at Niger. There you go. That's a nice pick.
Get Xhaka and Party, Ainsley, Maitland-Niles and Sambi. That's not a bad shout.
You could do that. You could do it on any, whatever. Yeah, bro.
You notice, last season, our defense, I think I read a stat last season, midway through it, and I remember we read it out on the show. We had made like 10 or 11 changes. There had been 10 or 11 different members of personnel that had played in our back four.
Yeah.
More than any other team it was at the time. I can't remember what game it was we were doing, Clear as day, I remember it though. You're seeing less changes at the back now. But the fact that we're having these conversations about midfield shows you, right, that yes, Arteta does definitely need, he's not the experienced guy that we like, that is able to answer these questions in a way that maybe a top manager might. But the question being there in itself shows you that that's the area now. And that's where you're seeing the changes happen a lot more now, is midfield and attack. Yeah. We'll know when this squad is ready, when you're not seeing so many changes in that personnel area. I keep comparing it to United, but United pretty much know they're playing up front now. They didn't get a number 6. So it's the only part for them is that central midfield bit. Yeah. And this is what attracts top managers. Yeah. If we try and get a manager now, yeah, compared to if we in January bring in some strength in these areas and then try and get a manager, I think there's going to be a massive gap in the quality of manager that we can attract. That's just how I feel.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying, King. I really do, and I agree with many of that. The only thing I would say, yeah, is that the stock of Arsenal is still high amongst managers. When I say that is because Arsenal, the Arsenal, is an institution. It's something that's well respected worldwide. Maybe not so much now with the younger players coming through. That's why you got the likes of Vlahovic, whatever, even stalling. Do you think, 15, 20 years ago, he would have been stalling? He would have jumped at a chance to come to us. But with managers, we're still a huge club. You speak about Gary Neville when the way he actually talks about Arsenal and Karen, the way they talk about Arsenal stuff. You hear them, the way they talk about the institution. It's all in glowing terms. There's nothing really from that generation of person or whatever says anything bad about Arsenal. Arsenal in that regard is still a big draw. Newer players, younger players, etc. And obviously where we are right now, yeah, there's a problem. However, we get back into the Champions League, we're huge again, bro. We're huge again. We're getting there. We're getting there, man, and we'll be back soon enough.
I do think Arsenal will be attractive for some managers. Again, I think there's two tiers of managers, isn't there? Just say you're talking to top level managers. You've got some who want instant success, and literally they want it here and now. Give me my money, let me buy up at the place, and I'll get you whatever I need to get you in the next 2 years. And you've got some who will like a project. And Arsenal, if you believe in yourself, you'll take this job because the pressure's a little less. You've got probably a bit more time to implement a style. Again, you've got great young players coming through. So not saying we're going to get a Pochettino, but you can really hear the rumblings of him at PSG because that's not what he wants to do.
Yeah,
You got to give that PSG job to a Mourinho who's just going to manage them egos for a season, get what he wants out of it. So if he has to shit out himself to get the Champions League, he'll do that. Whereas Poch is trying to build something and these players aren't buying in. And
not buying in at all.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work. So we would be, like I said, not saying we're going to get a Ten Hag, but somebody like that.
But we should have got him when we went for Armoury.
Yeah.
That's the mistake that we've made.
And I think a manager like that probably would come into Arsenal because it's not just come in, work with what you got, win us a trophy, and then if you go in 2 years, it'd be a project of, look, you can see the young players we got in. We're going to phase these players out. We bring these players in, work with this. If you get top 6 in the first year, not a problem. Then we look for top 4. You might win something along the way, but if you've got a 5-year plan, you could come, do you know what I mean, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2nd. We'll stand by you for that distance. Whereas other managers they probably don't want that length of contract. They probably just want to get in, smash something, and go out again. So I think that's where we would secure a half decent manager.
I don't know if you guys remember back in around the 2014 time. Okay, there was talk of us. There was always talk about getting a central defender, and one time Phil Jagielka was talked about us going for him. Now, I was lucky enough actually to go to Brazil for the World Cup, and I got really close and really pally, and I still am actually with his agent. He's agent for quite a few of the England players. And I asked him about Jagielka. I asked him because in the papers, it made it look like Jagielka didn't want to come to us because he was at Everton at the time. I asked him, I said, is there any truth in it? What's going on? Would he go? He said, no, Arsenal not in for him. Would he go? You crazy? Of course. Arsenal is so much bigger than that, man. And he is an agent for many of the Everton players. He goes, he'll jump straight away. If Arsenal came calling, he would jump. That's how big, and we're talking about those kind of ages of players and the managers and everything. That's how big Arsenal are. He said he would jump. He looked to me like I was nuts. Of course he would go. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're still a big draw, man. We're still a big draw. We're still a big draw. But Saturday, 3 p.m. I need your score predictions, bro. All of you. Who wants to jump in feet first? I'm gonna go King, because you killed me, man. You said I shouldn't be thinking like we're gonna 3 points is a nail done. What you got for me?
I'm gonna go 1-0.
Bear in mind we're at home.
1-0 Arsenal.
1-0.
1-0. At the best. Like, sorry, we're not scoring. We're not scoring goals.
Read my mind.
Can I say one thing quickly?
Yeah, man.
You know, Watford, Burnley 1-0, Norwich 1-0. Like, these are teams we should be. Those teams are actually the ones that like we're not scoring against. We got that low block thing. It's going to be.
Well,
one of
why
those.
have we got a low block against these teams?
No, we're playing against that. I think he means.
Oh,
yeah,
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Against low block.
Yeah,
but
like we're not finding answers at the moment, and trust me, they're going to dig deep.
Gumsa.
So yeah, 1-0.
I was going to say, what was the title of this show again?
Oh, for God. Smith Rowe to return.
How many times have you mentioned Smith Rowe's name in this whole stream?
Listen, you know what? The thing is, that's a good question, actually.
We haven't mentioned. I think that's the first time we mentioned his name. As you just said it just now, Callum.
So to all the viewers, we are sorry for this. We are very,
if you
very
tuned
sorry.
From
Australia, I apologise because I haven't said a word.
The only reason I'm going to say that I think is an easy decision to make. If Smith Rowe's fit, he starts, and it's as simple as that. So
yeah,
there we go. Just clip that little 20 seconds, Tony, and just put that out on the video, and then we get.
I'm looking for Smith Rowe. Find out how many minutes this is, and let people know how much we talked about it.
56 minutes until we say Smith Rowe. Like, what the hell?
If these guys understand what we've done, what we've actually done is we want 56 minutes because he's come back for fitness, and then we're going to take him off on Saturday. So that's 56 minutes. Arteta's going to take.
Listen, look, we thought about this. We was in the green room talking about how we're going to do this show, how we're going to plan it, and we don't do things by halves here at the Armoury TV.
Silver Fox has gone 2-1, so I'm gonna go 3. I always say 3-1. I'll go 2-0. I'll go 2-0.
They can't score, can they?
Jay Adams. The Ward-Prowse delivery, I don't know.
Right on the otherwise, man. Because it's those quick, strong, kind of athletic players.
Strikers we don't like.
You know, they've been getting the better of us. Look at Edward. We didn't think Palace would score against us until he did. You know, like...
And Benteke.
Benteke as well. It's that profile of striker. And that's the profile of striker we need.
Ivan Toney, yeah.
That's the irony of
it. They're the strikers
that we need that we're struggling against.
But you know what is, football's evolved and changed, and Aubameyang 20 years ago would have been thriving because he would have had a striker playing as a 10, so a Bergkamp, a Zola, a Van Persie, a Rooney, them guys who could drop in the holes, and his job's to get in behind and just finish. Whereas football now has changed. Your striker is got to be big, strong. And Candace, you give us a nice story earlier. I'll give you a story about Chelsea scout coming to talk to me a few years ago, and all he was asking for was left footers and a big physical striker. And if you could get a big physical striker who's left-footed, even better. They haven't even got to be great, but he's going to take them because the way football's going, everyone wants a striker who can play up front by himself and do a bit of everything. So this is where our strikers probably don't fit the mold now, and you're finding your Bentekes, your Edwards, your Callum Wilsons, those guys there can do both, can't they? So
I remember I mentioned Callum Wilson. I said that we could do Wilson, someone like him, and you
I would happily have him as
like I had 3 heads.
I would have him as a number 2 striker if we got 100%. Someone else.
I think he would do bits for us right now. To be fair, he's got. You look
at Origi, like whenever they call upon him, not what I would want, but he delivers. And it is hard to get a number 2 striker at the moment. I think we're quite lucky, even though ours aren't doing much. But you actually look at our 2, it's probably 2 of the better on paper, because you look at Liverpool, don't really Origi. City haven't got a number 2 striker. They haven't got a number 1 striker. Fair. Chelsea ain't too bad, but
a striker.
Yeah. So number 2 strikers are Tottenham have been searching for a number 2 for the last 5 years and can't seem to find one. So football is changing, isn't it? So
Tottenham don't even have a number 1 striker anyway.
Aussie Gooner, what are you saying? What's your match prediction, bro? What you got for us?
1-0, man. 1-0. Wow. And that's only if we play. And that's only if we play a 4-4-2. That's only if we play a 4-4-2. And I'm going to play that. I know it sounds boring football. I'm old school. We have to go back to 2 rows of 4. And if we do that, we'll get a 1-0.
He will
And
never.
I think
do
we have
that.
to be careful here. Just be careful, guys. Get out there, play you some football, get the win, get your morale up, and get to the next one. That's what we have to do.
Yeah, man.
And
Wow.
what's yours, Tanners, before you go?
I was gonna get away with it. I was trying to get away.
No, you were gonna cut. You come out in that group chat saying 4-0. So what?
Yeah,
Now?
you talking wild.
You know what? I am gonna say 3-0. I'm always
For
wrong.
fuck's sake.
I like your optimism. I was there once.
I hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right. I want to be wrong. We hit them for free.
You know
yeah.
what? I think something's gonna click on Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
Something's gonna click.
Okay.
With you. I do. I'm with you.
Okay. Make it happen, man. Make it happen.
I'll give it a go, man.
I believe. I believe.
I would like to.
Oh my gosh, guys. You kill me, man. You kill me. Guys, so listen, that's our preview, man. Southampton, which 3 weeks ago we would have been sitting here laughing. Southampton at home, 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
How quick does football change, eh? It's just nuts. It's just absolutely nuts.
We need to get to January and take as many W's as possible. And for the love of God, if these guys don't get a striker, then we deserve everything we get this season.
You honestly think
agree with you more, bro? We won't, but we won't. We're not going to spend big money. I swear we won't.
Do you know
we won't
what?
spend big. We need to spend big. We won't.
Yeah, my expectation is that we won't get anyone.
I think we're going midfielder. I think we're getting midfielder.
I don't think we will. I don't think we will.
I don't
think we'll get anyone.
We need to.
I think if we do get anyone, he's going to be.
Have to see that man anymore.
Listen. The only reason why
there's no amount of this smoke without fire. There isn't. I'm telling you, and
there's too much talk.
There's too much, man. There's too much, bro. There's never this much smoke come in a January window for Arsenal because it's always with loan signings. You might see, Arsenal were linked to this loaning this man in January, or
I think we're loaning Wijnaldum next, aren't we?
Bro, but listen, I'm seeing all these. You know, the other guy, that David guy, from Lille, the links.
Yeah.
He's an Arsenal fan as well. He's an Arsenal fan as well. His links are intensifying. There's Isak. Links are intensifying. There's so much noise.
If we got Isak, I would be like, flips.
To be honest, the more I'm looking at it, I think I want this David.
Keith, how you doing, bro? Good to have you on there.
Honestly,
shit, we've had some years, haven't we?
Oh, we had some quality back then.
Didn't Kim Kallstrom come with a broken back as well?
Yeah. But still was a part of a trophy-winning team.
That's the thing. We're so desperate for a January signing. We bought someone with a broken back.
That's
and then Dennis Suarez didn't even. How many minutes did he get for us?
He didn't get for 60 minutes or something crazy.
Yeah, that was it.
He was so bad.
Yeah, we weren't even. That was poor. That one.
Do you know our best January signing? Other than Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Go on.
Reyes.
Say what I think you're gonna say.
Reyes.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
When he come into a tick. Chris Kawhi. Listen, actually, he had a decent season at Ipswich. I remember Chris Kawhi. I remember he was quite decent at Ipswich. Him and what is it? Is it Dezeo? Who's the other guy? It was Kawhi and Dezeo, the one who went to Tottenham. I forgot his name. But they were quite decent a few years when Ipswich first come up in the Premiership. But anyway, I digress. Man, this is hard life, man, being an Arsenal fan. But listen, so Aussie Gooner says 1-0. GunnerKing says 1-0. Gumsa says 2-1. Was it 2-1?
Yeah, I think so. 2-1 or 3-1. I'm taking both.
Do you know what? Sod it, right? I reckon it's going to be 3-0, but I'm going to say 4-0. So, yeah, 4-0. So we get a 3-0. Right? There we go. We've got it on record there, lads. 4-0 Arsenal. Masterclass incoming. Sambi and Maitland-Niles in the middle. Smith Rowe's back, hopefully.
Let's go for all young teams. Get all the youngsters in.
Exactly.
Nketiah up front, Balogun on the bench.
Facts.
Yeah. Listen, do you know what? Just one thing. Last thing before I go, it kind of puts in perspective, his performance against Brentford in the first game of the season, because of the system that we're playing. Balogun was literally thrown to the lions, man, and told to just, you know what I mean, just to deal with that, deal with this system.
That's why I have a bit of sympathy for all our strikers.
100.
Because none of them, I said, if Aubameyang and Lacazette aren't thriving in this, how can I expect Balogun and Nketiah to thrive in it? Like, we need to relax on these youngsters a little bit, because you've got seasoned pros who are struggling to get a sniff.
Struggling.
And even if they're missing a chance, they're getting 1, potentially 2 chances a game. Whereas I'm seeing Salah's having 10 shots a game, 8 shots, 10 shots a game. Like, it's a big, big difference. So,
law of averages says he's going to score one, right?
100%. I think Partey's probably getting the most shots in our team right now, if I'm honest.
Oh, mate, he's got to stop.
He needs to stop. He needs to stop. On my life, yeah.
Oh, shit, there goes one now. Bloody hell.
Someone needs to tell him, bro, you're not that guy. You are not that guy. He just needs to be told that. Like, he doesn't need to be asked. He needs to be told. Because
that guy's got more holes than him in Swiss cheese, I swear.
It just infuriates me. The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, and
expecting a different result. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Hey, listen, the worst thing is when I see him standing over free kicks, I'm like, what are you doing there, bro?
Who thinks he is, man?
Anyway, guys, it's been blessed. Thank you very much. Listen, this is the Armoury TV. We're out. Come on, you Gooners.
Come on.